Assalamu alaikum and hello to all my beautiful jewels out there. You better be shining and smiling and taking care of yourself. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I came to Islam because this was a much requested video. This is that video, okay? So this may be a long video, so I hope you're sitting down. You're going to need the following things: Kleenex, tissue, a nice warm drink like hot cocoa or hot chocolate, or if you like coffee, whatever you fancy. Have it next to you, water, but definitely the tissues because I might actually need some myself. Alright, here we go. My background is I've been living in New York City for 10 years. And this is a good and a bad place, I'm going to be honest. I have gone through my uglies and my goods in this place, in this very apartment. I have sustained through endless amounts of problems and worries, and I pretty much was going down the wrong path in my life. I was surrounded by people that were my friends, but they were not my friends. They were simply using me just to use me for whatever I had, my home, my money, whatever I could extend out to them. I was around them a lot because I wanted their friendship, but I did not understand at the time that what they were extending to me was all of their harmful vices. And it was very easy for me to pick that up because I was surrounded by it. And I thought that this was, it's kind of like saying like, oh, this is cool or whatever, but really you don't see it that way. You get like this tunnel vision and you start to just be happy to just have someone to call a friend. Because once my status changed from doing what they were doing, and all of a sudden my financial status was changing, where I was not making the big bucks, I was down here, and no one was there to pick me up. And I started becoming very, very deep and very heavily abusing alcohol, abusing drugs, and nobody stopped me. Nobody came to me and said to me, you are destroying your life. Because these were supposed to be my friends. Now you may ask, where was my family? I had pushed them away so far that they were even afraid to come to me and say anything to me. I was very angry with them, and that's like a whole nother video, which is very deep and very personal, but at the time I had a lot of anger inside. And what happened to me was that there was a point where one day I woke up and I was alone, and I broke down crying. And I had not spoken to God in a very long time. I was raised Christian through my family, but I had stopped practicing after I was 13 or 14 years old. My mom's not very religious, so it was through my aunts and my cousins. They're very Christian. So when I had that upbringing and that background, I was much better. But once I let go and I was a little in the lost, what I would call my darkness, I was in a lot of darkness, a lot. So that day I broke down crying, and I knew something was wrong. I wanted to change. I wanted to be better. I knew that my health was poor. I was smoking cigarettes like crazy, like I was just damaging myself. And I honestly knew that something had to be done. So as I'm crying there, I reached out and I called out to God, and I was like, help me, help me. I don't like how I'm living right now. Why is this happening to me? I want it to change. And it was at that very point that I started to see what was hurting me. And I started to, every week, as I noticed something, it was almost like a sign, because the friends had already drifted, and they would call and check in maybe once or twice to see if what I was up to and what I was doing, and why did I not go to a party, and why did I not attend an event, or why I did not call them. So I was also distancing myself, and at that point I knew something had to change within me. So I started letting go of the vices. And it took me time, but I did. I had to let it go. I needed that purification to happen, because, again, it was like God was telling me, you gotta clean up. You gotta clean up, and you gotta get yourself back on track. And I did that very thing, because these streets out here where I live will swallow you up whole. I'm telling you right now. Don't fall victim to the streets. Find Islam. And how I found Islam was because of a friend of mine. And there were always Muslims living and working around me, but I never went and asked them anything. I never questioned their belief or anything like that. And I, at that point, was talking to my friend, and at that point got my first Quran in Spanish. And it was that moment and that point that I was reading. I was going through comparative religion also at that point, because I was in this I want to find the truth kind of journey, this search. You get this like yearning from your heart where you want to fill in the gap. You want to close the hole. You want to find your purpose in life, because you wake up and you're like, there's a reason why I'm up, there's a reason why I have two eyes, there's a reason why I have two ears, there's a reason why I go to work in the morning, there's a reason why I eat what I eat. So you want to know the purpose of life, and I found it in the miracle of the Quran. This Quran, I opened it, just you read Surah Al-Fatiha right there. That for me, reading that in Spanish, but reading it, my eyes inside and outside opened. My ears inside and outside, they cleared. I said, wow, this is what I've been looking for. This is exactly what saved me from the streets and from those bad friends and from all of those vices. And I'm so grateful, alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful that I found the right way, because I don't know what else there is after. I don't want to know anything else from the past anymore. I take it as like I learned from it. It was for me to learn from, and I move forward. Now I'm keeping it moving. I have a wonderful husband. I have my children. I am blessed, alhamdulillah. All praise is indeed due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything that I have right now, everything that comes to my right hand. You know, I am so grateful for it. And I could just almost see myself in the average girl walking around that is in those bad things. And I see them look at me and I smile at them because I was there. And I know maybe if they were to talk to me or anything, they would come out of it. But this whole self-discovery, this whole search inside has cured my depression, cured any ailments. When you're free of the vices, your health improves. You find yourself at a point in your life where you are just grateful to even look at the leaf of the tree that's outside of your house that's been there forever. And I was going through this, and I was like, wow, and I was so happy. Now, I was not wearing hijab. I was not, I had not gone to the mosque at that point. I was just doing reading and researching and listening to lectures. And I just knew this was for me. And I had not come out openly to my family about Islam because they never asked me. And I just kept it in my heart. And I just started wearing hijab this year because I followed another feeling that came through in my heart. And I'm so happy, alhamdulillah. I'm so happy. And I'm very blessed to say that, Islam has changed my life. And my family, they see me, my mother and my sister and everybody, they see me in hijab. They have a newfound appreciation for me. In the beginning, they thought I was like dressing up. They didn't understand because they didn't want to. And I had told them I was Muslim even before the hijab, and that was very difficult for them to understand as well. They had their own reservations, their own thoughts. Now, when they see me in hijab, they see my heart, they look at me with more of an appreciation, and my sister tells me to this day, she says, Julissa, you have changed so much, because I had a lot of anger problems. I was very angry with my family. I used to fight with them a lot. And, I realized later that was the shaitan. When he's at work, he will come through to you. Through a thought, through an idea, through a friend, through a person, anything. And once like that I have Islam, I calmed down a lot because I was out there. I was active. I was out there. I would use foul language. I was a mess, a hot mess. But coming back and standing up straight, the way Allah made us, opening that book, using my brain, alhamdulillah, for my brain. Alright? I took all the knowledge in. I accepted Islam in my heart. And I hope and pray that you are all remaining steadfast. And if this video reaches you and you're watching it and you are thinking about Islam and you see it through my eyes right now that, it's changed my life, it really has. What will benefit you is Islam. It will put you straight. It will keep you right. It will keep you away from everything that is harmful, that will try to knock you down. So, wow, that was a lot for me right now because it's hard for me to talk about that, but I hope it benefited you in some way. So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and peace and blessings unto you.